They prayed for our chains. I was born with gospel in my lungs and the smell of hot comb smoke on the air. The sound of my mama humming blessed assurance while she stirred grits before church. I knew the Bible before I knew myself. Could quote Psalm 23. Before I knew how to spell my own name. They told me Jesus loved me, even while they whipped us. They told me Jesus would save us, even while they owned us. They told me Jesus was all we had, so we held him tight. I never questioned it. Not until Grandma died at her funeral, they sang Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And I saw the deacons with their white gloves, the women rocking in the pews, tears sliding down their cheeks as they lifted their hands to the sky. They were praising so hard you'd think they were trying to drown out the memory of chains. The pastor shouted, "The Lord has called her home," and everyone shouted back, "Glory." I didn't shout, I just clenched my fists, because all I could think about was how they made us kneel and pray to this same God before they raped us, how they beat our language out of us while reading us scriptures, how they told us to forgive while they burned us alive. They said Jesus was the answer, but I started to wonder if Jesus was the silence. That night, I slept in Grandma's old room, the air thick with mothballs and old perfumes, and I dreamed of a woman with skin like mine, standing in a cotton field under a sky that looked too big to hold. Her back was torn open, blood dried in dark rivers, and her eyes burned into me. "You still praying to him?" she asked. "That's all I know," I said, voice trembling. "Then you don't know nothing." I woke up gasping, sweat clinging to me like guilt, the sound of distant church bells mocking me through the window. I wanted to pray, but I didn't know who to pray to anymore. The next morning, I found a small bag tucked in Grandma's drawer, tied with red thread, filled with herbs that smelled like earth after rain, like something older than the Bible. There was a note in her shaky handwriting. They told me this was wrong, but it kept me alive. My hand shook as I held it, tears blurring the words, because all this time, Grandma was holding on to something they told her to forget, hiding it under church hats and Sunday dresses. And I realized we've been living double lives, praising the God of our oppressors, while hiding the whispers of our ancestors in back rooms and locked drawers. That night, I stepped outside under the Florida moon, the cicadas loud, the air heavy, and I poured out water onto the ground, remembering something I read about libations. I didn't know the songs. I didn't know the prayers. So I spoke from the gut. "I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm trying now." A breeze kissed my cheek, and for a moment I felt them, those who came before me, those who fought, those who died, those who whispered in the dark so the children wouldn't forget who they were. But the church bells rang again, reminding me that tomorrow they'll be back in the pews, praising Jesus, shouting hallelujah, clutching the same Bible used to justify our chains. And I can't unsee it now. I can't unfeel it. Is it betrayal to walk away, or is it betrayal to stay? All I know is that I won't call on the same God they used to break us. Not without questioning, not without fighting for the truth of who we were before the ships came, before the whip cracked, before they told us salvation looked like the face of the slave master. I am my grandmother's prayers and her hidden herbs. I am the hymns and the screams. I am the chains and the breaking of them, and I will not praise the God who watched us suffer without asking why. I will not bow without remembering who I am, not anymore.